So reports are flooding in now that Boris Johnson won't be standing for Prime Minister. After a slew of the press called for the Messiah's return, it doesn't look like it's going to be happening. He claims to have gotten 102 nominations, which, as Paul says here, is way above the amount of people that have publicly declared. To me, it's not surprising that he reached 100. What is surprising, however, is the fact that many people on his side and his camp had said that he'd reached 100 comfortably, and it wasn't just a simple just over the line type thing. He cited the reason for him pulling out of the leadership campaign was because Sunak and Mordaunt wouldn't work with him, quoting, "You can't govern effectively unless you have a united party." Now, I have my feelings about Boris Johnson, but I respect that. It would have been a case of maybe half of Parliament supporting him while the rest don't, and nothing would have gone through. It would have been a hung Parliament in effect. So on the surface, this looks like a good thing for everyone, really, but it isn't. It's now looking more and more likely that Rishi Sunak will become the next Prime Minister of the United Kingdom. Let that one sink in. And it's not like they had a better option, to be honest. The party just doesn't have good MPs that can stand as Prime Minister. We saw it with Liz Truss, and now we're going to see it with Sunak. Boris Johnson would have probably been the only Prime Minister that would have fought against Labour in the next election and given the party a chance of survival, but you stick with Sunak for the next 2 years, it's going to be a massacre, I'm telling you now. I do find this odd. I really do. I didn't expect him to pull out for any reason. I thought that the bright lights of being, the forerunner of the country once again would be too much for him to say no to, but seems like he has. But of course, as I said in my previous video, nothing will be confirmed until tomorrow. Regardless of a statement, he could change his mind. Anything could happen. Anything at all in British politics can and will happen. So let's see what happens tomorrow. Until then, I hope you had a wonderful weekend. Adios.